Okay, so today we're diving into something really important,
Yes.
and that is life insurance, and specifically for people dealing with lupus.
Yeah,
You've got some great sources here. It looks like you're really, doing your research.
absolutely.
So that's great.
Yeah.
So maybe we can just start off by kind of explaining what lupus is,
Huh.
just so everyone listening is on the same page.
Yeah, so lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what that means is that your immune system is attacking healthy tissue in your body.
Right. So it's kind of like your body is fighting against itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it can manifest in a lot of different ways.
Okay.
You see a lot of joint pain, fatigue, skin rashes.
Oh, wow.
And it can even impact different organs,
I see.
which is why it's a serious condition.
Right. And that's one of the things that I guess insurers are looking at.
Right.
When
They're
they're,
trying to.
figure out risk and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but, the important thing to remember is that just because you have lupus, it doesn't mean you can't get life insurance.
Absolutely not.
Right. So that's what we really want to kind of unpack today. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you have lupus.
Mm-hmm.
How do you navigate this whole life insurance world?
Right.
What are your options?
Yeah, so there are definitely options out there.
Okay.
It's not a roadblock at all. It's just about understanding how insurance companies look at it
Right.
and then, what you can do to kind of improve your chances and make it more affordable.
Okay, so let's talk about that then. Let's
Yeah.
talk about what the insurance companies are looking at
Sure.
when someone with lupus applies.
Yeah, so there are a few key factors they consider.
Okay.
One of the big ones is the type of lupus you have.
Okay.
So there's systemic lupus, which affects multiple organ systems throughout the body.
Mm-hmm.
And that's generally considered more serious than discoid lupus,
Okay.
which primarily affects the skin.
I see.
So that's one thing they look at.
So basically how widespread the lupus is.
Exactly. Yeah, the more systems it affects,
Yeah.
the higher the risk they perceive.
Got it.
Another really important factor is the severity of your symptoms
Mm-hmm.
and how often you have flare-ups.
Okay.
So, for example, if you have well-managed symptoms,
Yeah.
you're following your doctor's treatment plan, and you only have flare-ups occasionally,
Yeah.
that's going to be seen much more favorably by an insurance company
That makes sense.
than someone who's, constantly struggling with severe symptoms.
Right. Because they're looking at how likely are you to
Exactly.
need to use this insurance?
Exactly. It's all about risk assessment.
Got it.
Another thing they consider is the medications you're taking.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So things like steroids or immunosuppressants, which are commonly used to manage lupus,
Yeah.
those can be seen as red flags.
All right.
Again, it's not about judging you for needing the medication.
Right.
It's just that they have to take into account potential side effects.
And long-term impact.
And long-term impact, exactly.
Okay.
And then, of course, organ involvement is a big one.
Yeah, because I know lupus can affect the kidneys,
Yes.
the heart, the lungs.
Absolutely. And that's a major consideration
Right.
because those are vital organs.
Yeah.
So even minor damage to, say, your kidneys
Mm-hmm.
could really increase your premiums.
Wow.
And if there's more serious involvement, it might be harder to get approved for certain types of policies.
So it's not just about the lupus itself. It's about your overall health picture.
Exactly. They look at everything.
Okay, so that's a lot to consider.
It is.
So let's say you're someone with lupus and you're thinking about life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
What are your options?
Well, there are a few different types of life insurance policies.
Okay.
And each one has pros and cons.
Okay.
The most common types are fully underwritten, simplified issue, and guaranteed issue.
Okay, let's start with fully underwritten.
Okay.
What is that?
So fully underwritten policies are kind of like the gold standard of life insurance.
Okay.
They typically offer the best rates
Mm-hmm.
and the most comprehensive coverage.
Okay.
But the catch is they require a full medical exam.
As part of the application process.
As part of the application process. So
Yeah.
for someone with well-managed lupus, this could be a good option
Mhm.
because it gives you a chance to show the insurer that you're taking care of your health
That makes sense.
and that you're not as high risk as they might initially think.
But what if, you're not comfortable with the medical exam?
Right.
For whatever reason, are there other options?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's where simplified issue life insurance comes in.
Okay, what's that?
So with simplified issue, you skip the medical exam,
Okay.
but you will have to answer some health questions on the application.
What kind of health questions?
They'll ask about your diagnosis, how long you've had lupus,
Okay.
the severity of your symptoms, any medications you're taking,
Okay.
and whether you've had any hospitalizations or complications related to your lupus.
Got it.
And based on your answers, they'll determine whether you're approved and what your premiums will be.
Okay, so basically you're trading the medical exam for potentially higher premiums.
Exactly.
Okay.
Simplified issue policies tend to have slightly higher premiums than fully underwritten policies,
Mm.
but they can be a good option for people with mild to moderate lupus
Right.
who are comfortable answering those health questions.
Okay, cool.
And then there's guaranteed issue.
Guaranteed issue, that sounds very straightforward.
It is.
Like you're guaranteed to get it.
You're guaranteed approval. There's no medical exam, no health questions.
Wow.
But
There's always a...
guaranteed issue policies have the highest premiums out of the 3 types.
Okay.
And they often come with a waiting period
Okay.
before the death benefit actually kicks in.
I see.
So it's really like safety net, a last resort,
Right.
if the other options aren't available to you.
Got it.
But it's good to know that it's there.
Okay. So let's say you're someone with lupus and you're trying to get the most affordable life insurance possible.
Mm-hmm.
What are some things you can do?
Well, the biggest thing is to be proactive about your health.
Okay.
You know, following your doctor's treatment plan,
Right.
maintaining a healthy weight,
Yeah.
not smoking.
Those are all good things anyway.
Exactly.
Whether you have lupus or not.
Exactly. It's good for everyone.
Yeah.
But it can really make a difference in your insurance premiums.
Right. Because it shows that you're taking care of yourself and
Yeah.
you're managing your condition.
Right.
Okay, cool. And, there's so much information available online
Yeah.
about all this stuff. Could someone just do their own research
Mm-hmm.
and apply directly to an insurance company?
They could.
Why would they need a broker?
That's a good question.
Right.
It's true that there's a lot of information out there, but the insurance world is complex.
Yeah, it is.
There are so many different companies, so many different policies.
Right.
It can be really overwhelming to try to navigate it on your own.
Okay.
And that's where a broker can be really helpful.
Well, okay. How so?
Well, a broker who specializes in pre-existing conditions,
Mm-hmm.
like lupus, they know the ins and outs of the market.
Okay.
They know which insurers are more lenient towards certain conditions.
I see.
And they can advocate for you to get the best possible policy.
So they do all the legwork for you?
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
So, yeah, it's definitely worth considering working with a broker.
Okay, so to wrap all this up,
Hmm.
basically, even though having lupus can make things a little trickier,
Right.
it is still possible to get life insurance.
Absolutely.
You just need to understand how insurers assess risk
Right.
and then find the type of policy that works best for your situation.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yep.
You know, talk to a broker, get as much information as you can.
Right? Knowledge is power.
Exactly.
So do your research and you could definitely find a policy that meets your needs.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for breaking all that down for us.
You're welcome.
It's been really helpful, and I think it's going to help a lot of people listening.
I hope so.
All right. That's it for today's deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye.